The original Subaru Baja was produced for no more than 4 years, but still managed to leave a big mark on the automotive industry. Today, the old model enjoys great recognition among enthusiasts, so it's no surprise that the Japanese manufacturer is making a comeback. Could this be the next big thing in the small pickup segment? Stay with us to see how the all-new Subaru Baja is about to wow everybody. Subaru Baja 2 decades later. The first time we ever saw Subaru's pickup named Baja was 2 decades ago. The Japanese carmaker introduced an Outback-based pickup with a goal to attract non-traditional truck buyers. However, that model remained under the radar for some reason and never managed to reach decent sales numbers. Eventually, the production ended early in 2006. So you probably wonder, why would Subaru bring back a not-so-successful model? First of all, these are different times. Back in the day, the circumstances were completely different. Buyers had different preferences, so even mid-size pickups, read Dodge Dakota, were equipped with massive V8 engines with nearly 6 liters in displacement. Simply put, that wasn't the right moment for the Baja's launch. Things are radically different these days. Fuel economy, ride quality, and overall refinement play an important role even among pickup buyers. So, it's not a surprise that people went crazy about the Ford Maverick. This seems to be a much better time for models like the Baja, and the best proof is the level of recognition the original model gets from enthusiasts these days, especially models with a turbo flat 4 engine. Rumors about the comeback appeared for the first time a few years ago, and the hype was built around the Baja pretty quickly. Soon after, even the officials started giving hints, which made us believe that the new Baja is actually cooking in Subaru's kitchen. These hints started to become more and more obvious and culminated with the April Fool's post from the local dealer in New England, which brought up a teaser photo of what's supposed to be the new Baja. Although just a joke, it's still kind of a statement, a clear indicator that there's a good number of those who would like to see this moniker activated again. No country for copycats. People expect Baja's comeback for a reason. The Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz reinvented the small pickup market after so many years, and people seem to go crazy about them. Still, we're pretty sure that Subaru is not going to use the same recipe. Instead, it will once again try to find the Baja's own identity, with a different design approach and different design solutions. So instead of a unibody pickup that mimics bigger body-on-frame trucks, the new Subaru Baja would rather stick to the basic postulates of the old Baja. This means it would feature a 4-door utility body style, once again heavily based on the Outback. The legendary wagon was the starting point of the original Baja design, so we expect the same thing this time as well. The popular wagon would serve as the basis and provide not just mechanics, but also most of the aesthetics. Naturally, the key difference would be on the rear end, where the Baja could come with a little bit of a longer overhang, with a little bit of a longer cargo bed. The wheelbase, on the other hand, could easily remain the same as in the popular wagon. What about powertrain? One of the Maverick's key selling points is its super efficient hybrid powertrain, which makes this pickup able to return 42 miles per gallon in the city and 33 miles per gallon on the highway. Simply put, it's impossible to remain indifferent to these crazy numbers. And it's not surprising that half of Mavericks sold in 2022 were with this powertrain. Subaru doesn't have something like that in its bag of tricks, but let's be honest, typical Subaru lovers couldn't care less about that. What suits them best is a good old flat 4 engine with a low center of gravity, perfect mass distribution, and decent power. Speaking of power, base models would barely be decent, as they would feature a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated unit with 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. Most of us would rather go for the optional 2.4-liter Turbo 4, which puts out a quite respectable 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque, and which looks like a perfect answer to Ford's 250 horsepower Turbo 4 Maverick. Some sources suggest that the base unit could be replaced with a new 1.8-liter turbocharged engine that, despite similar power figures, would provide a little bit better driving dynamic thanks to the additional torque, which goes up to 221 pound-feet. Could we see a manual Baja? A proper boxer engine needs a proper gearbox, and in our humble opinion, that can only be a 6-speed manual. However, times have changed, and even Subaru is dropping manual transmission in favor of automatic. In this case, that would actually be a continuously variable transmission, something that has been a major deal breaker for such a big number of potential buyers in the last decade or so. Models with a base engine definitely won't get a stick, but we still believe this could be an option in models with turbo flat 4. The new WRX offers it, in combination with the same turbocharged engine, so we see no reason why the Baja wouldn't get the same treatment. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Wilderness is a must. As the Baja nameplate clearly refers to the famous off-road race in California, we expect Subaru to offer a pretty capable off-roader. Of course, it all starts with Subaru's famous symmetric all-wheel drive, which is still one of the best all-wheel drive systems in the business. That would definitely be a great advantage over rivals. For example, the Maverick Hybrid doesn't even have all-wheel drive on offer, while the Turbo 4 comes with a system that's heavily front-wheel drive biased and doesn't offer much off-road potential. Subaru's system, on the other hand, permanently sends power to all wheels and provides excellent balance thanks to the perfect engine position and same-length half axles. The company's well-known X mode should also be standard in all models. This system controls the engine output, transmission, AWD torque split, and braking system, which all help a lot in more challenging off-road situations. Of course, ground clearance also plays a very important role when it comes to off-roading. The standard Outback features a respectable 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is 0.4 inches more than the standard Maverick. The Baja would offer at least the same ground clearance, while the highly anticipated Wilderness trim would increase it even more. In the case of the popular wagon, the distance from the ground is 9.5 inches, though Baja Wilderness could easily offer more than that with further suspension upgrades, bigger tires, etc. Besides higher ground clearance, the Wilderness trim would also bring further suspension upgrades, skid plates, and reshaped bumpers for better approach and departure angles, all-terrain tires, and additional drive modes, etc. Towing capacity is a potential trump card. No one expects unibody pickups to be able to tow 7,000 pounds, but the new Baja could actually be pretty good in this aspect, better than rivals. The Outback already bests the Maverick by 700 pounds when it comes to the most basic variants, and the Baja could easily offer more than that. The more capable Outback is good for 3,500 pounds, which is just 500 lower compared to the Maverick equipped with a 4K tow package. So if we presume that Subaru would also offer an optional tow package, it could get pretty close to the Santa Cruz, which can tow up to 5,000 pounds in certain versions. Some reports go even further and suggest that a new Baja could be able to tow 5,500 pounds, which would make it an obvious class leader. Bed flexibility. Just like the rest of the compact pickups in this class, the Subaru Baja will also come with a 4-door crew cab layout. As we mentioned earlier in this video, the wheelbase as well as the original length will be shorter, which leads us to the conclusion that the cargo bed will also have to be shorter compared to the classmates. For that reason, Subaru engineers will have to be smart and offer some kind of flexibility that could make it as practical as rival pickups. Simply put, there are always situations where you have to load some long and bulky object, and in these cases, every inch matters. Subaru engineers would have to find a way to increase the bed capacity, and that's where the original model would serve as a good example. The old Baja also featured a pretty short bed, but it was able to extend in two ways. First of all, there was a typical bed extender, and second, it was kind of a mid-gate, or to be more precise, a small hatch at the back of the cabin. It was able to open inwards and fold flat along with the second row bars, and as a result, it was able to accommodate 7.5 feet long objects, which was on par with cargo beds of many full-size pickups. All in all, it would be a real shame to not see the new Baja with the same or some similar, even better technical solution. Release date and price. We presume that the new Baja would wait for the next generation Outback to come first. The 7th generation of the legendary wagon is planned for the 2025 model year, so the pickup iteration would come right after. As for the price, the current Outback starts at around $29,000, and we estimate that with some savings on the inside, the Baja would be a few grand cheaper. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.